I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members. Thank you. It's continued support like yours that keeps this channel growing. And if you haven't already, please consider joining today. Hello and welcome. I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Trek The Next Generation Starship Enterprise by Playmates. This is the new ship that just released in 2023. This is available right now, as of the time of this recording, from Target stores, and it retails for approximately $40. I got mine from Target.com. It seems as though it's possible that Walmart has stopped carrying their line of Star Trek stuff because after the NCC-1701 and those figures, those kind of just disappeared off the shelf, and Walmart hasn't really restocked any of that, where Target has continued selling these. So, yep, Target.com is where I got mine. It got shipped right to my house, and I'm very excited to finally get it because ever since I got the 1701, I've been looking forward to getting the 1701-D. Absolutely love that I have both of them right now. So, starting with the box right here, we got the Star Trek logo. From what I understand, this is very similar, not exact, but very similar to the original packaging from the 90s. Of course, it's got some differences that are done on purpose, but very similar. I don't have any of the 90s stuff, unfortunately, but we got Starship Enterprise. We can see the Enterprise D right here. Now, there's a little cutout right here, so there's a couple of buttons on the back of the ship, and the ship does come set to Try-Me mode with batteries included, so when it's in the packaging, you can hit a couple of the buttons and hear some of the sounds right there, so it's got that Try-Me feature. Dual light-up engines, authentic Starship sounds and phrases, highly detailed 15-inch replica of the Starship Enterprise. Saucer section separation, that right there. When I saw that this could do that, I knew I had to have this ship. Display stand included, actual sounds from the Star Trek TV show, includes full saucer separation. Taking a look at the back of the box, there is a rather long little bio right there. I am not going to read that and submit you to listening to me read that for you, but if you want to pause it and read it, there it is right there. Star Trek The Next Generation, Starship Enterprise, Galaxy-class flagship of the United Federations of Planets. Got a couple of the features. I love that they show the 10 forward lounge. It actually points out where it's at, which is pretty cool. It just kind of shows you the ships, the lights, where the buttons are at, and some of the other things that you can get. You've got the communicator, you got the phaser, and you got the Starship, the NCC-1701, which we've already looked at here. And, of course, you've got your Q code, so you can do that if you want to. And here we have the Enterprise NCC-1701-D out of the package and on its display stand. And this thing is absolutely gorgeous. It measures approximately 15 inches long from the very tip of, 10 forward right there, all the way to the back of the nacelle right there. That's about 15 inches from the top of the bridge to the bottom of the secondary hull. It's about 3.5 inches, give or take. It's really kind of difficult to measure that, but there you go. What you get out of the package, so you get the display stand, which comes in two pieces. So this piece right here just snaps into the bottom right there, and that's your display stand. Now, a lot of people had issue with the display stand from the NCC-1701 because it had that articulated centerpiece, so it actually made for two pieces, and I can understand some people thought it was a little wobbly and whatnot. This is a little more sturdy, but I like the fact that the other one displays up a little higher. When I put them side by side on my shelf, the NCC-1701 sitting up above the D almost makes it look like the D is smaller, which they're not. They're pretty comparable in size, but I don't know. It's something about the height difference. This one sitting below the other one, it just kind of makes it look smaller. I would have preferred, personally, the same type of double articulated stand for this one as well, so that when I have them on my shelf, they're at the same height. That's just a personal thing. I know a lot of people did not like that first stand, but there you go. You can see the new or the updated insignia for this age when this show was going on, so you can see that. Looks pretty neat. We'll set that off to the side. You get the ship in 4 pieces. You get the secondary hull. You get the 2 nacelles are separated. You have to clip these in. Did I? Actually, I might be wrong. I might be remembering that wrong. I don't remember if I had to clip these in or not. Maybe they were already in there. I've already had this for about 2 weeks. I've been playing with it, so it's possible that I'm not remembering that right. I know with the original one, you had to clip these in. You know, I think this came in two pieces. The secondary hull, I think the nacelles were already attached and then the saucer was separated. So I'm correcting myself there. And as you can see, this is absolutely stunningly decorated. You got all the little, most of, not all, but a lot of the windows are blackened in, which is pretty nice. Not all of them are, and it kind of gives that feel like in the show some windows were on, you know, you could see the lights on in some, lights off in some, others. So it kind of gives that look, that non-even look that just makes it look more organic and realistic. And of course, you've got in yellow right here, you've got all of the, these were escape pods, I think. So that's where those are at. You got USS Enterprise, NCC-1701-D, right there in the front. You can see the phaser array going around all the way. I may get some of these names wrong, but the phaser banks that went all the way around. This would have been cool if this lit up. This didn't light up, but it would have been cool if it did. You can see the bridge right there around the back side here. You can see 1701-D Enterprise going around back and down to the secondary hull. You can see more of those lights down here. We've got the pinstriping and nice little paint details here. No stickers here. Everything is painted. Enterprise NCC-1701-D. We got our 3 buttons right here. We'll go over those in a moment. Down here, looking at the neck piece, down here, you can see some more of those windows that are painted. Some painted, some are not. NCC-1701-D right there on the pylon for the nacelle. And then coming along the bottom, we've got NCC-1701-D on the bottom of the dish. And then we've got, again, we got that Starfleet insignia right there on the bottom. None of the windows along the bottom were painted. None of the escape pods on the bottom were painted. And I think that's a shame. That's a missed opportunity because this top of this looks so good. And then when you flip it over, it's just so bare. I would not be against, I might get a Gundam pen and just fill some of these in just to kind of give it a little bit more life down there. Same thing on the bottom of the secondary hull, but I shouldn't have to. But then again, this was only $40, so that's not that bad, really. You got a switch down here on the bottom, so the batteries are right here. You got these are already coming included; they're already installed. But you got a little battery cover here, screwdriver. Open that up if you need to replace those. Beep, and of course, 3-position switch down here. Center is off. It comes in demo mode so that you can hit the buttons in the box when you're trying it out. And then, of course, you got on. And when you turn it on, we're going to get our light. So we got our deflector dish down here. Lights up. The Bussard collectors are lit up. The sides of the warp nacelles are lit up. And then we also have our bridge section is lit up, which is really, really neat. Now, we don't have lights on the bottom here like we did with the NCC-1701. Would have been nice if this lit up. Also, the sublight engines don't light up, and I think that really is a missed opportunity. I think these should have lit up because that is transparent plastic, red transparent plastic. I might be bold enough to open this up and add a couple of LEDs and just run them right behind these so that these will light up with the rest of the ship. I might try that. I don't know. So there's that. Now let's talk about the not sensors, the sound effects. We got a couple of sound effects right here. So starting with the first button towards the front here, these are going to be all of our phrases, and these are they sound like actual recordings from the show because it sounds like Picard and Riker's voices. So we'll go ahead and start those.
Lock on photon torpedoes. Fire. Engage. Red alert. Raise the shields. Lock on photon torpedoes.
So those are all of the phrases, and they're just going to keep rotating those around. The center button is ship sounds. That one is kind of weird. It's just some beeping sounds. Kind of reminds me of that scene where Data is scanning for life forms.
Life forms.
And then the other sound that we're going to get is... So we have a red alert, which just kind of fades away, and then we're going to go back to beeping and searching for life forms.
You precious little life form. Where are you?
So there's that. Weird choice. I think a ship going into warp sound would have been nice to have here, and that is one thing that this ship does not have. It does not have the going into warp sound. So the bottom button or the rear button here, these are going to be our weapons. So we've got photon torpedoes and we've got phasers, and it's just going to keep cycling through those. So those are all of our sounds. I love the sounds. I don't hate the beeps. I just think it's weird that they put that in there, but we don't have the sound of the ship going into warp. That's just weird if you ask me. Keep the beeps, but add the warp. Now, separating the saucer, we have a button right here. So when we press on this button, this is going to separate. This is going to release the saucer from the secondary hull, and it's also going to make another sound. So there you go. So that's the sound of the separation that's happening, and also the nacelles and the deflector lit up when I did that. Those were off. If you notice, when I pressed the button and separated them, everything lit up. Of course, the bridge shut off because we have our connections right here. So we got 2 pins right there, and we've got 2 contacts right there, so that when the saucer is connected to the secondary hull, that's what sends power up here to light up the bridge right there. So once we separate this, no more lights on the saucer section. But there's the saucer section separated. We got the what's called the docking clamps here on the back, and then of course we've got the section here, which is where we're going to join our ships together. Looking at the secondary hull, that's what we're looking at right there when they are separated. So to put them back in, all you could do is just literally clip them together. You see the little button come up. You give it a little tug. Don't pull it too hard, or otherwise you are going to rip it off if you pull it too hard. But give it a little tug just to make sure that it's secure. It's on there and it's ready to go. So mounting this on our display stand is exactly like we did with the first one. We've got the little ball jointed section right there with a little square hole for this peg to go into, which I think it's neat because it allows the ship display. This piece goes forward and backwards, so you can tilt it forward and backwards. But also because this is ball jointed, and here once you clip the ship in, you can tilt it to the side like that. No hands. So you can tilt it to the side, you can tilt it up, you can tilt it down. So you can do, any kind of dynamic display that you want to do, you can do. So that's pretty neat. Backing up quite a bit so that we can see the 2 Playmate ships together, the NCC-1701 from 2022 and the NCC-1701-D from 2023. This is taking up a lot of room. I had to back up quite a bit to get these 2 in shot in. My lights just went off, but somebody had mentioned, I believe it was Keith and Mike from Keith and Mike Entertainment or K&M Entertainment, had mentioned, and I think this would have been a great idea. If you see the lights just kind of shut off, I get it. It's saving your battery. If they would have added like a little, maybe like a USB-C plug somewhere on the ship, so that you can plug it into the wall and have it in, let's call it desk lamp mode, so that you can have these up on display and just turn them on and leave the lights on. That would have been so cool. I hope somebody comes up with a way to do that, because I will take my money. I will do that. I would love to have these on display, plugged into the wall, lit up. That would be so cool. But there you go. You can see what the 2 of them look like together. And like I said, I kind of have the camera up high. Let's go down a little bit. So this is what happens on my shelf. It's kind of weird looking at them. Actually, they don't look terrible when they're facing each other like this. I usually have them like both facing in the same direction like this. Is how I display them. And it just kind of makes it look weird when one is up higher than the other. But it's I may turn them this way on my shelf, because I kind of like the way that looked when they were both facing each other like that. That actually kind of looks nice. I might try that on my shelf. But I do like this one having the higher stand. Again, I know a lot of people did not like the display stand with the articulated neck right here, but I like the fact that it makes it stand up higher. And I wish I had that option with the D. I would like to display these at the same height. But there you go, one more time so you can see what the 2 of them look like together. So that is my review on the Playmates Star Trek The Next Generation Starship Enterprise NCC-1701-D, the new one from 2023. If you're like me and you're into Star Trek but you don't have any of the toys from the 90s, this is a must-have. And I'll say, even if you do have the one from the 90s, I think this is also a must-have because this is a really beautiful ship. It displays really nicely. It looks amazing. And that saucer separation feature is so cool. Again, this is available from Target. I got mine from Target.com. It retails for approximately $40. What did you think of the Starship Enterprise? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs ups. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll talk to you next time.